I live here.
Okay. Got you. Yeah. So I'm going to, on air, I'm going to thank Shruti Beko for introducing you to me. Last night we were just talking, and then she said, oh, there is someone who is very interesting and would love to be on air. So I'm actually wanting to know what has been your journey like. I mean, you are doing coffee cup. I have never heard about coffee cup reading, and it is really interesting to know. First of all, I want to know exactly what is coffee cup reading.
Yes.
This is something which is new to me.
Yes, so coffee cup reading is basically a Turkish reading, and it is also called as tesography. So how this coffee cup reading works, let me give you a little insight on this. So basically it is a divination from where you can find out what is the person's problems. Just like astrology, it works in the same manner. So out here, there are this Turkish coffee is very thick. The grounds of the Turkish coffee are very, very thick, and then, there are impressions and symbols which create into the cup, and that's how I start predicting. So the first step to it is that when a client comes to me, I give them the coffee. They do not necessarily have to drink it because it's very, very bitter in taste. But if they are coffee lovers, then they are most welcome to drink a sip of that coffee. Or else I just tell them to swirl the cup thrice, and once they do so, they will put the cup upside down on a saucer. They remove a ring or anything that they are wearing, a piece of jewelry, and then they put it on the saucer. And after a couple of seconds, I will pick the cup from there and put it down. And by that time, we shall see that there are different kind of, symbols that create out of, the coffee grounds there, which are the sediments, which are left into the cup. And that's how the reading starts.
So, I mean, what do you tell after, you see those designs? What do you tell? I mean, what kind of their journey, their life, their relationships, what exactly do you tell after seeing those designs?
So the good part about this whole reading is because the reader's energy is out there into the cup, because they have, twirled the cup, and, they have used the cup. And so what happens is, since the energy is there, so all their questions, it could be related to their love lives, it could be related to their relationship with other people, or finances, or at the moment where they are and where their journey needs to go ahead. So I can interpret all those things, because the beauty of this reading is that this is going to give you some sort of symbols and signals to explain that, how can you go forward in your journey, and where are the glitches for you at this moment. So just to give you a small example, that there was a client who had come to me, and her clear question was that when will I get pregnant? And the moment she twirled the cup, and she blew into the cup, and the symbol, the sacred symbol that turned into the cup was a house. So my next question to my client was that, are there too many people in the house, or what is the situation in your house right now? So she mentioned, yes, that we are 5-6 people living in a small house, so there is not enough privacy. So this is a way also in a cup to tell you that where is the problem lying. The moment I told her that it's a good idea for her to move out of her space and try and go to a outhouse, or go somewhere a little far and stay with her husband for a little time, and things would change and the good news will be on the way. So that's exactly what she did, and in 3 months time I got a call from her saying that I'm so excited to share this news with you that I am pregnant. So the beauty of this reading is that it doesn't stop at giving you the prediction, but it also tells you that where are the problems lying out here.
So अगर मैं कॉफी लवर नहीं हूँ, अगर मैं टी लवर हूँ, तो फिर मैं चाय पी सकती हूँ और उसके डिजाइन बता सकते हैं?
या वो भी हो सकता है, क्योंकि इसमें टी कप रीडिंग भी है जो मैं करती हूँ, सो दैट इज ऑल्सो वेरी वेरी पॉसिबल. तो चाय के लवर है तो चाय के लिए तो देर आर सो मेनी डिफरेंट थिंग्स. दे कैन यूज डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ टीज and everything is so beautifully done because there are small little patterns which tea leaves form. Because this, the beauty of this is कि coffee cup reading चालू हुआ था टर्की से and tea cup reading has started from China. So both the histories are very very different and yet coming from different parts of the world. Still the idea of prediction is quite similar on similar grounds.
ठीक है. तो आप कहते हैं वो चाइना से शुरू हुआ था टी का. So how did you get involved in this? I mean, as this is a women empowerment program which we are doing it, and all the women who are doing different things in our community or outside of the community, and how they got encouraged and how they got involved in what they are doing right now, or how they got inspired. So that's the series we are doing for ICC every week. So today is our series 1, and we have you, and then we have Mandeep Randawa here. So we are talking about it. So how you got inspired and got into this business, I'm curious about that.
So it would be lovely to share my journey also. Just as any girl, I was blessed because I was very young and I had, these things which I used to see a lot of, I used to see a lot of images, and I was extremely intuitive. As a person, as a child, I was extremely intuition. I used to have a lot of intuition powers and things like this. And, I got to know that at a very early age that I could see things, because when I used to meet people, I somehow would sense that, what is going to happen to them next. And then, luckily by, grace of God, I was born in a very affluent family, and my parents were very encouraging. And I was studying, in Bombay, and after that I came down to US and I was studying out there in LA. But soon later, once I did my business school and I came down, I still had a very keen interest, that how this whole divination works and what is the different things and why I can see these kind of different things all the time. Because मैं इतना सारा लोगों को हेल्प करती थी, कोई ना कोई आके पूछता था मेरे को, अरे ये प्रॉब्लम है मेरी, कुछ सुलझा दो. और मेरे दिमाग में एकदम से एक आ जाता था और मैं बोल देती थी कि हाँ तेरा ये काम आज हो जाएगा या कल हो जाएगा. एंड दे यूज्ड टू से तू कैसे बोलती है सब, हाउ इज इट हैपनिंग? एंड दैट मेड मी इवन क्यूरियस. And then, once I was on flight, and I remember very clearly, I was sitting next to a Buddhist monk, and throughout the flight, this person was extremely quiet and he was not even moving. By the end of the flight, when I spoke to that guy, I said, what is it? And he just told me that you should come and visit me into, where they were having their institute. And I went out there and I learned with him the pranic healing course, and I did Reiki out there. And when I was doing all these modalities, I learned that there are so many powers and there is so much to this, and that just increased me so much further that I started learning and doing courses to get the hang of all the things that God has blessed me with. And now my journey has been a very long journey, because I have started my journey from 98.
98 is man. So this is really really nice to know that the journey is yes. My co-host Mandeep and the guest, she has some questions.
So
Sure.
I have a quick question. So I understand that it's awesome to have. It doesn't matter it's tea or coffee, but probably a lot of listeners who are listening to us are from US, and if they want to reach out to you and they want to discuss all this with you. But you're in Maharashtra, so how that is going to work? How can we have that coffee or tea reading that you're mentioning? So, yeah, that's what I want to know.
So the good part of this is that even if the person is not here, but technology has taken such a wonderful step out here that we have Zoom, we have Google Meet, we have so many wonderful platforms out here. So once they come on that platform, I make the coffee or I make the tea, and they ask the questions from there, and I shall twirl the cups out here, and still, because the energy is going to be a part of this whole session, I still will look into the cup and I shall give them their impressions or their symbols from the cup, and the whole prediction starts. So it can be done from any part of the world.
Wow. So इतनी दूर बैठे बैठे आप swirl करते हो और इसकी energy वहाँ पे आ जाती है, and then you just tell everything about that person.
Yes.
I mean, do you tell everything about that person, or do you still ask, what is your problem, or, this is your problem? Do you tell by yourself also?
Yes, because I am a very intuitive person. So I can also look at a face and or meet the person, I can talk, because ये coffee cup reading और चाय reading जो हम बोल रहे हैं, उसके अंदर भी आपको कुछ intuition power तो चाहिए ही चाहिए. Even though there are rules, like the rules are like in the cup is divided into 4 parts. So when the sediments are more on the right, it is all the questions are more toward the future. When it's on the left, it tells me that the person is still sitting with the past incidences and is very remorse about all those kinds of incidences in their lives, and they are still stuck into trauma, or they're having some kind of issues. When the sediments are on the upper part of the cup, that tells me that what are their wishes and where they want to see themselves going ahead in life. So that tells me about that. And when I see the sediments all on the lower end, that tells me also that where are the glitches and where they have been stuck. And the beauty is that in this, the sediments are going to have different impressions. They could be numbers, they could be birds, they could be people, they could be houses. There are all different kind of symbols. And each
and बताइए कि एक और चीज होती है जिसमें कि आप लोग, कई लोग चाय भी नहीं पीते, कई लोग कॉफी भी नहीं पीते, कई लोग सिर्फ वाइन पीते हैं एंजॉय करने के लिए, तो उनकी कैसी रीडिंग होती होगी?
हाँ, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि मेरी एक बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल थिंग है मेरे पास कि जो मैं वाइन रीडिंग करती हूँ, एंड आई एम लिटरली वन ऑफ द फ्यू इन द वर्ल्ड हु इज डूइंग वाइन रीडिंग. सो द ब्यूटी ऑफ दिस वाइन रीडिंग इज कि यहाँ पे सेम तरीका अपनाया जाता है कि जहाँ पे जो लोग हैं उनके हाथ में एक वाइन का ग्लास दिया जाता है, वो उनको ट्वर्ल करते हैं, स्मेल करते हैं, फिर उसके बाद अगर वो पीते हैं तो दे कैन हैव अ सिप, and then there is a canvas which is right out there is beautiful music being played for them, and the beauty in this is कि उनकी eyes जो है they have to be shut, so they will be shut with a red scarf to their eyes, and then they have to throw the wine onto the canvas, and the moment they do this, it turns into beautiful designs on the canvas. It is so beautiful, and the moment those designs and patterns take place, वहां से वो पूरी रीडिंग, एस्ट्रोलॉजिकल रीडिंग स्टार्ट्स होती है. दीज आर द इम्प्रिंट्स ऑफ देयर ब्यूटीफुल जर्नी टू लाइफ.
So they cannot drink the wine, they just have to throw the wine. That's
no. So they definitely नहीं, sorry, यहाँ पे they definitely get to drink the wine, so they can drink a sip or 2 sips and then they can do it.
So you're a coach also, I heard.
Yes, I'm a life coach, I'm an emotional wellness coach, so that helps me understand my clients on a deeper level, which tells me that what are the issues. क्योंकि कभी कभी हमारी लाइफ में ऐसा हो जाता है कि हम अपने साथ भी अपनों के साथ अपनी फीलिंग्स शेयर नहीं कर पाते हैं. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि हमें ऐसा लगता है कि लोगों के पास अपने खुद के इतने इश्यूज हैं कि हम हमारे इश्यूज कहाँ किसी के साथ कैसे बांटें. आज वो भी एक बड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो चुका है. एंड सम पीपल आर इंट्रोवर्ट्स, सम आर वेरी फ्यू ऑफ देम आर एक्सट्रोवर्ट्स. सो द वंस हु आर इंट्रोवर्ट्स की उनके लिए बहुत ही प्रॉब्लमेटिक हो जाता है कि हम हमारी फीलिंग्स कैसे शेयर करें. और मेंटल हेल्थ इश्यू ड्यूरिंग दिस कोविड टाइम्स हैज बीन सच अ बिग थिंग नाउ दैट पीपल आर सफरिंग. सो Having this part of me being an emotional wellness coach has helped them tremendously, because I understand that, what are they feeling at this moment, and to guide them and not to push them is a very thin line out here. कि किसी को समझ के अपना बना के उनके साथ एक बात करना और उनको समझा के बताना कि कोई भी एक वक्त जो है हमेशा के लिए एक जगह पे नहीं रुकता है, वो एक पानी की तरह है, वो बहता ही रहता है। तो शायद आज कोई प्रॉब्लम है पर कल वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं रहेगी।
So you are any other which I am not aware of your readings, because you have done tea reading, you have done coffee reading and wine reading, and you're a life coach also. Anything else, any therapy am I missing, or any kind of readings
Yes.
I'm missing? Which
So
you do?
basically I am into which is called is color therapy, which I do with my crystal healing. So in
crystal
that
healing.
yes, so उसमें कैसा है कि everybody has chakras, as we all have chakras in our bodies, and sometimes
मैं आपको थोड़ा सा इंटरप्ट करूंगी. Let's come back after the break, because we are going to have a break and then we will come back. How's that?
sounds very good.
All right, thank you.
And more. Contact Amin Kareem of iSecure at 346-779-3786. That is 346-779-3786. मेरे छोटे भाई की शादी में कोई कमी नहीं रहनी चाहिए.
अरे कमी का तो सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता. रूप साड़ी पैलेस है ना, तो नो टेंशन. दूल्हे के लिए एक से बढ़कर एक डिजाइनर शेरवानी, और दूल्हे के भाइयों के लिए कुर्ता पैजामा, शलवार कुर्ती के कलेक्शन कमाल की है. पूरे यूएस में इतनी बढ़िया वैरायटी आपको सिर्फ यहीं मिलेगी जनाब, और दाम ऐसा कि दिल खुश हो जाए. तो आज ही विजिट कीजिए रूप साड़ी पैलेस, 6655 Haven Drive, 101B, Houston, Texas, 77036, or call 713-278-7667.
India Cultural Center, a non-profit organization to promote, educate, and unite diverse Indian cultures and serve all communities in Greater Houston area.
Radio ICC Houston on 99.5 FM, Radio Dabang, every Sunday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
ताज़ा खबरें और ICC की पुरानी यादें, शेर व शायरी और नए पुराने गानों की बहारें आपकी संडे की सुबह को मस्त कर देंगी.
Every Sunday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
For ICC sponsorship or to run ad during the show, contact 281-844-4604 or 713-858-8229.
For more info, go to icchoustontx.org.
Radio ICC Houston.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jasmita again, and we have a caller, and we all are listening about this interesting concept which she has put in front of all of us. She is from India, and she is calling from India, and she is on air right now with us, and this is, you're listening to ICC Radio Houston. We have started Women series, Women Empowerment series, and we will be talking about, we'll be bringing new and new empowering women to our studio to share something which is beneficial to all of you guys and as well as women. So it is, especially we are just talking about empowering women. So here she is bringing something which is very interesting. So if you want to talk about, anything you want to know about your life, so this is another way you can go through that. You can actually go, technology is so high, as she said, that you can always call from wherever you are, and she will guide you through what you need to do. And this is called coffee reading. And if you're a coffee drinker, if you are a tea drinker, she can help you out. And if you are wine drinker, she can help you out with that, and as well as other things. She is sharing with us, and definitely it is so empowering to listen to this new technique she's using to communicate with the public and to help the women and to help other people. So I'm going to ask you, Sheetal,
Yes.
have you done anything for the women especially?
And what is your story? What is your experience in that regard?
Yes, I have helped a lot of women. I have helped abusive women in relationships, and where their mental health has been very, very bad. So I have done honorary services for them, and I have tried to coach them, and today they all are luckily standing up and have become achievers. And one of my client, I'm so proud, she has even won Miss India crown, and that gives me a huge boost out there.
Wow,
because I have
very
helped her
nice.
through her journey where her life was extremely difficult, and from there giving her a dream and making her dream alive, and that was one of my greatest achievements out there, I can say. And as I am mentioning that every person and every relationship is different, and all the people and come to me are from different walks of life. So they can be doctors, they have been students, they have been couples, and I have been on air myself and on TV. So I am there on Tata Sky. I have my thing coming out there as an astrologer where I predict things, and I even as a life coach, I am a love guru for the channel. So
love guru?
Yes.
What is that love guru, man?
So, as a love guru,
I want to know that also.
Yeah, so love guru is in an aspect is when I take the young youth into consideration with relationships, where I talk about loyalty, I talk about distance relationships, how can you work them out, what are the different tips that one can do, why certain relationships go through so much upheavalness, which are the most 5 love languages which are important. And I write for a lot of magazines, from Grazia to Femina to lots and lots of magazines and newspaper articles, and I give my inputs to the youth, because the youth nowadays, the issue with the youth is that they give up on relationships very fast. ऐसे लगता है कि जैसे कि कोई वक्त ही नहीं है उनके पास, इतना सब हो रहा है कि उनको ऐसा लगता है आज वो डिनर पे नहीं आया, कि 2 दिन नहीं मिला, तो शायद ही इज नॉट द राइट वन फॉर मी. जबकि पुराने टाइम में अगर आप देखेंगे तो आपने देखा होगा कि हमारी दादी या दादी की दादी जब बातें करती थी तो ये था कि यही इंसान इज माय लवर, इज माय बेस्ट फ्रेंड, एंड एक पूरी जिंदगी उनके साथ वो निभा के आगे चलते हैं. तो ये जो था पहले और आज क्यों नहीं, तो उसका यही है कि वी जस्ट नीड टू समटाइम्स अंडरस्टैंड कि हर जो रिलेशनशिप है, देयर इज नो परफेक्ट रिलेशनशिप. वी रन बिहाइंड थिंग्स वेयर वी थिंक कि सब बस परफेक्ट ही होना चाहिए, बट दैट्स नॉट ट्रू. इट्स ऑल अबाउट अ imperfect relationship turning into a perfect relationship with the love and the kindness and togetherness of each other, and that is the beauty of this whole thing.
तो ये क्यों होता है कि जब आदमी सोचता है कि जिस तरह पाप का घड़ा भरते ही मृत्यु हो जाती है, उसी तरह से खुशियों का घड़ा भरते ही शादी हो जाती है. Why they think like that? And हमारे पुराने जमाने में होता था कि शादी का क्या मतलब है. शादी का मतलब हम लोगों के टाइम पे जब पुराने जमाने में होते थे, जब माम कहती थी कि बेटा पीछे मुड़ के मत देखना, जो है वो है तुम्हारा अपना घर, वो ही है. वो उस तरह के वुमेन जो भी काइंड ऑफ प्रॉब्लम से गुजरे, कुछ भी हो जाए, पर उसको पीछे मुड़ के अपनी माँ बाप की तरफ जाने के लिए उसको शर्म आती थी कि कैसे क्या लोग क्या कहेंगे. तो अब कहते थे ना कि शादी का मतलब क्या है, कहते हैं अजी सुनते हो से लेकर बहरे हो गए हो तक का सफर कहते हैं शादी का. तो व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट दैट? आजकल की जनरेशन ऐसे नहीं सोचती है.
नहीं, मेरा कहने का मतलब ये है कि देखिए, फ्रॉम देयर वी हैव इवॉल्व्ड एज पीपल ऑल्सो. जैसे कि हर समय एक बदलता समय है, एंड एवरी टाइम टीचेस आर समथिंग. पहले के समय में जैसे कि साड़ियों में लड़कियां रहती थी, इट वॉज अ टैबू टू इवन वेयर वेस्टर्न क्लोथ्स. वहां से तो नाउ इवन अगर आप देखो तो सास बहू भी दोनों शॉर्ट्स में घूमते हैं आजकल. So the whole trend has changed and everything has changed. From a mother-in-law, they've become to momji and mill and things like that. So where I feel that there is a transition of lot of things, and where one needs to understand that the most beautiful thing about a relationship is when there is not too much of expectation. It is about letting the person be in their own space and loving them as they are. So when जब तक शादी नहीं होती है, you meet only for certain hours, and everything is so beautiful because you are putting your best foot up there. But once after the marriage, you are going to live with that person for 24 hours under one roof, and one must understand कि जब ऐसा होता है, you have to learn कि the other person is also having his or her own interest. It's all about trusting, having faith, being loyal, and walking together as friends first. एक दोस्ती पहले एक इम्पॉर्टेंट है एक रिलेशनशिप के लिए. एक दोस्ती ही प्यार में बदलती है, और फिर वो ही प्यार जो है उसे बरकरार रखने के लिए इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू लव अनकंडीशनली. जहाँ पे कोई कंडीशन आ जाती है, वहाँ पे बहुत सारे गिले और शिकवे आ जाते हैं कि मुझे ये चाहिए था पर उसने ये नहीं किया, मेरी ये इच्छा थी पर आज वो पूरी नहीं हुई है. पर जब अगर हम अपने पार्टनर को इतना प्यार करते हैं कि जब हम ये सोचते हैं कि उसकी खुशी में मेरी खुशी है, और पार्टनर भी ये समझता है कि हाँ ये सही बात है, then it becomes very wonderful. और इस बात पे I can share one beautiful incident that can prove this, that relationship can also be very, very meaningful. So there was this couple, and the husband tells the wife on the table in the morning saying कि आज मुझे मेरे बॉस से प्रमोशन के लिए बात करनी ही चाहिए. और उसकी वाइफ कहती है उसे, हाँ तुम्हें कहनी ही चाहिए उन्हें, मैं बहुत टाइम से यही चाहती थी कि आप उन्हें बताइए, क्योंकि आप इतनी मेहनत करते हैं एंड यू रियली डिजर्व द वर्ल्ड. द हस्बैंड सेज, आज मैं बात करके ही आऊँगा. सो व्हेन द हस्बैंड goes to the office, he talks to his boss, and his boss after a few minutes decides that yes, the promotion is granted, and he comes home. What does he see? कि एक पूरा टेबल जो है, डाइनिंग एरिया इज लिटेड विद कैंडल्स एंड डिशेस आर देयर एंड फ्लावर्स, एंड उसकी जो भी मनपसंद चीजें थी वो सारी टेबल पे शी हैड कुक्ड एंड शी हैड केप्ट. तो उसे लगता है कि शायद मेरे घर से या मेरे ऑफिस में से किसी ने बोल दिया होगा घर पे फोन करके कि मेरा प्रमोशन हो चुका है, एंड माई वाइफ हैज नोन अबाउट दिस. And he sits home and she gets all the food and she says, मुझे पता था कि ये प्रमोशन आपको मिल ही जाएगा and you deserved it. तो he is eating the food happily and suddenly she goes to get the dessert, और उसके एप्रन में से एक चिट्ठी गिरती है और उसके हाथ में आती है, और वो चिट्ठी पढ़ता है. उसमें ये लिखा है कि डार्लिंग, अगर तुम्हें ये प्रमोशन नहीं मिला तो कोई बात नहीं, मुझे पता है कि तुम इसके लायक हो और तुम्हें कहीं ना कहीं एक दूसरी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगी. तुम मेरे लिए आज भी वही हीरो हो और मेरी लाइफ में तुम हमेशा वही हीरो रहोगे. The moment he reads this, he's got tears in his eyes because the wife was prepared for both the incidences, which he thought that somebody from the office must have called and told her about this. So the relationships can be so beautiful also.
So I have something to add with that too, and you meet a lot of clients, and I think probably you have seen this biggest problem that before people get married and before they get into a relationship, they have their own life, they have their own friends, they have their own activities. And I think especially with Indian women, I would say as soon as they get married, they stop having their own life, and all they do is like just be in that relationship. They don't see their friends anymore. They don't get involved in the activities they were doing before. So sometimes what happens, the way Jasmeeta ji was saying, that men think that, oh, this is end of the life. Because what happens, all of a sudden, based on our culture, we expect just these two people have life together, but there is no life outside the relationship. And I think because with the new generation, that is something really, really bothering people, because you can't have just that life, and you need to have life outside too. Like you need to have friends so that it keeps the excitement in the relationship, and you both have space as well. Because I think new generation has biggest problem of not having space. It's like you just leave everything to be in the relationship, and then it kind of becomes very close. So Maybe you had some of the cases like that as well.
Yes, so now the thing is, at least I'm very happy that, even in India, there is a lot of, because of technology and because of we have the influence of the US and other world and other parts have opened, and the women have started working, and the working women have achieved so much more even than the men now, and they are CEOs and their companies, and they have reached the head, and they are doing so many different roles nowadays. So I believe that with the new change, the woman is no more under pressure कि 20 बरस की हो गई, अभी शादी करनी ही होगी, 25 पे बहुत प्रेशर है, एंड बाय so many years I have to get pregnant and मेरे को बच्चा चाहिए. I think that these norms are changing also with the times. And the other thing is that what you said about space is very true. So in a relationship, when I am doing couple counseling, the most important thing is I do say this, that it's not only about serving the other person. It is living your own dreams.
Yes.
And becoming each other's pillar. कि मैं if there is some time where you are lower, I'm standing up for you, and when there are things not working out for me, you are standing up for me. So it's a relationship, as I explained, it's more on the level of friendship first, and then it grows into love. So there is space, which is extremely important. There are goals that they should make together, plus goals that they should have of individual goals of their selves that they have set aside for themselves, and that also they should be able to achieve. Friends, family, everything is a part of your life, and every corner has to be greeted with lots of love, and there should be space for everything. Otherwise the relationship can definitely become extremely claustrophobic.
I agree with you totally. I had been listening to you, and it is, I think I have, my thoughts are that it should be 50-50, but men have so much ego, and it's never been 50-50. Till today, what I see in the new generation, new kids, our kids, that is totally different. They don't want to get married, and they want to have a live-in relationship before they get married, just to know how the other partner is and how they are treating. But on the other hand, parents like us, we get so worried about the new generation concept. So I don't know which way. Our way is like our marriages were lasting longer, even though we were, some marriages are suffering. But at the end of the day, they both work things together, and that's how you'll grow and learn. But the new generation, they say, okay, this is not happening. They are not respecting each other, or there is something which is not right. तो आप divorce कर देना चाहिए, divorce कर दो. So this is a very common thing which I see in the new generation. They are jumping into divorce very quickly. And the old generation में क्या होता था, जब mom कहती थी जाओ बेटा पीछे मुड़ के मत देखना, so then क्या होता था, जो lady होती थी वो they are, उनको उसको पता होना चाहिए, उसको पता होता था कि लड़की को पता होता था कि चलो कुछ नहीं है, I have to live in this relationship, so let's work things out, and तभी करके वो lasting relationship रह जाता था. I think that was the only reason. अदरवाइज हर हस्बैंड वाइफ में लड़ाइयाँ होती हैं, डिसएग्रीमेंट्स होते हैं, बट एब्यूसिव रिलेशनशिप नहीं होना चाहिए, मेंटली एब्यूसिव और फिजिकली एब्यूसिव रिलेशनशिप नहीं होना चाहिए. दैट इज टोटली रॉन्ग. बट ऑन द अदर साइड आई थिंक वी नीड टू. एंड एक और मेरे को पता दिमाग में आता था कि एक स्कूल होना चाहिए. मेरे को बहुत हमेशा मैं ये कहती कि एक स्कूल होना चाहिए. ठीक है, आप कोचेस तो होते हैं, पीपल डोंट गो टू दी कोचेस, बट आपको एक स्कूल खोलना चाहिए शीतल जी, जहाँ पे आप शादी करने से पहले यू हैव टू हैव अ सर्टिफिकेशन. उससे क्या होता है, एटलीस्ट यू नो दैट
person is fit to get married.
Exactly. Are you ready to get married or not?
Yeah.
तो अगर आप लोग ये कमिटमेंट करना चाहते हो तब शादी पे जाओ, अदरवाइज नहीं. अब मैं yesterday मैं तुम्हें बताती हूँ कि yesterday I went to the wedding, right? One wedding was at the Gurdwara, and वहाँ पे हमारे भाई साहब जी बहुत अच्छा से लेक्चर दे रहे थे. बट मैंने सोचा अपने मन से, it is too late now. He is already in there or she is already in there. So why not we should have these kind of schools? सर्टिफाइड मैरिज के लिए तुम पूरा सर्टिफिकेशन ले लो, आप पता चल गया कि यू व्हाट कंडीशन आप किस चीज में अंदर जा रहे हो, तब वो उस वाले कुएं में कूदो। अगर आपको पता है कि तैरना आता है, तब तो आप कूदो। अगर आपको पता ही नहीं है, आपको लगे कि हाँ ओ माय गॉड ऐसा होता है शादी में, दैट्स व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू फाइंड आउट। लेकिन मैं शादी में जब मेरी हुई थी तो मुझे ऐसा लगा अच्छा ये होता है शादी में, अच्छा ये होता, हमको कुछ आइडिया नहीं था यार शादी होती क्या है, रिलेशनशिप क्या होते हैं, अच्छा ऐसे ट्रीट करते हैं इन लॉज, और ऐसा रिलेशनशिप बन जाता है, और अच्छा ऐसा फ्रेंड्स जो होते हैं वो आपको इस तरह से ट्रीट करते हैं, अच्छी तरह से या बुरी तरह से। आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट, बट आई एम जस्ट सेइंग वी फाइंड आउट आफ्टर we get married most of the time। इंडिया में यही चल रहा है, बट जो नई जनरेशन आ रही है जो यहाँ पे पली बड़ी है, आई डोंट नो अबाउट इंडिया, मे बी आप बता सकते हो कि इंडिया में भी अब लिव इन रिलेशनशिप्स हो गए हैं या डेटिंग शुरू हो गई है, विच आई हियर दैट ऑफ्टन बट नॉट एवरीवेयर। आई थिंक मिडिल क्लास की फैमिलीज में अभी भी इतना अलाउड नहीं है कि आप जाओ और लिव इन करो और डेटिंग करो। तो आप क्या सोचते हो इस मामले में, कौन सा वाला concept ज्यादा better है? And I would ask you to what message you want to give before we end the call. I would really want to send any message to our listeners, they are listening to us.
So the one thing I would like to say that as you correctly said that yes, any relationship should not be abusive or it should not be toxic relationship। ऐसा तो relationship नहीं होना चाहिए जब ये हद से बाहर गुजर जाता है कि कहीं आपको लगता है कि आपकी सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट पे आ रही है बात, तो you should definitely move out of the relationship because these are red flags. But yes, every couple has their disagreements. That is fine because they are two different individuals. But the good part is to sit down and try and talk things out. Yes, there are some men who are very, very strong-headed. But as I just explained that if you understand the 5 love languages, it becomes very easy to tackle with your loved ones. And that's exactly what I do. And the other thing is जैसे आपने बताया कि कोई स्कूल होनी चाहिए, so the thing is that now the latest trend is that when they are going around, they go to counselors, they go for couple counseling before they are entering into a relationship to understand that are they mentally adaptable to each other। क्योंकि कभी कभी हमें लगता है कि हम इतने प्यार में होते हैं that we feel that yes, I can adjust to anything and everything because love is blind। But when there is a third person and definitely a counselor who is a neutral party out can hear both of them and can pitch them right from the starting that you need to be aware that maybe your partner may not like these kind of things, and if there is a way that you can change or mend this now, that the relationship can turn into a beautiful one. So one is that I see those trends happening for sure because I myself have so many couples who come to me just before they are about to ring their wedding bells। And the other thing that you said that which one is a right way, देखिए पुराने ज़माने में क्या था कि there was this whole thing about इज्जत and there was too much thing about, it was not about only a boy and a girl marrying, it was as if two families are joining and tying themselves to each other। So वो बहुत प्रेशर था उन शादियों में। But as we have seen the time has flown and in India also there is a lot of living in relationship taking place and there is dating। Yes, there are middle class people where they are still very a no and a taboo here because of the strong cultural belief living in a society which is predominant with your surrounding of the same caste and people around with peer pressure। Sometimes it's little difficult, but I wouldn't say that it's impossible। It's difficult, yes, but impossible नहीं है कोई भी चीज because sometimes they are able to explain their point of views। कभी शायद थोड़ा सा टाइम ज़्यादा लगता है and sometimes they just feel कि it's better that they do not want to fight it anymore and they give up। So there are situations like this, but हर चीज एक situation से बनी होती है because every situation and circumstances is going to be different from another one। आपकी जिंदगी में मेरी जिंदगी के साथ में तुलना नहीं कर सकती हूँ क्योंकि हर एक की जिंदगी में जो पहलुएं आती है या तो जो मुसीबतें या जो डिफिकल्टीज होगी वो डिफरेंट ही रहेगी। So the idea is to try and stand up with all your circumstances and try and have a intent that at the day end it's my family, I love my family and I would try to work things out। When you are having this kind of a thought process that मुझे इसे सेव करना है So you will think of 100 ways to try and save it first. Breaking it just takes 2 minutes to break anything. And each person, जैसे हम एक खोज में रहते हैं कि ये शायद बंदा ठीक नहीं है, दूसरा शायद ठीक होगा. But there is no perfect person because you yourself are imperfect. Remember, every person has their own flaws. But the thing is to look at those flaws as your strength and his as your weaknesses. When you combine those, then you both can become, as a very strong couple. So the idea is to look into each other and try and not find the faults, but be each other's strength. That is a thing that I would definitely want to pass my message. And I'm so happy to be on this wonderful platform. And I would love to tell my viewers, if they would have any issues or any problems, they are most welcome to, see me on board. Is on my Instagram handle, my Facebook handle is sheetalshaparia, and my website is www.sheetalshaparia.com. And I even have my YouTube channel where I have hosted too many shows, live shows on TV shows and other shows. And I have my weekly predictions and my yearly predictions which go out. So, they are most welcome to be on this platform. And every now and then, I always share beautiful tips, telling them easy tips that are easy to accept in day-to-day life, and they work out fantastic.
Very good. Thank you so much, Sheetalshaparia. I truly appreciate you coming on air and talking to us. And तो इसी के साथ मैं आपको सबको कहती हूँ कि आप को कोई भी क्वेश्चन पूछना हो रिगार्डिंग योर रिलेशनशिप और एनीथिंग, कि रिलेशनशिप हो या फिर घर लेना हो या फिर आपको कोई भी फैमिली की इश्यूज चल रहे हो, तो आप फिर भी अपने करियर के बारे में बात करना हो या वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट जो हम लोग अभी कर रहे हैं उनके लिए, जो उनको अपने वुमेन की राइट कैसे क्या होते हैं, या करना चाहिए, ये करना चाहिए, वो करना चाहिए, आप लोग शीतल जी से बात करिए और जाइए. और इसी के साथ मैं आगे बढ़ाती हूँ अपना ICC रेडियो इसी के साथ मैं कहती हूँ कि ये, और इसी के साथ मैं ये शीतल जी को ये कहती हूँ कि अगर आपके पास कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन, कोई फोन नंबर है तो प्लीज शेयर कर सकते हैं ऑन एयर.
Yes, so I would love to give my number, and my number is +91 98202 89192. I'll repeat it once more.
Right.
It's +91 98202 89192.
तो ये थी शीतल छपारिया. Thank you, Sheetal ji.
Thank you so much for having me on this wonderful platform. Love you all. Wish you lots of love and light.